All right, welcome back. So today we are going to be talking about Chapter 3, Section 3, and this is all about angles of what we call regular polygons. Last time we talked about interior and exterior angles within a triangle, and now we're going to take our knowledge of interior and exterior angles of triangles and we're going to apply it to what we call regular polygons. We're going to be discussing the interior sums, the interior measures, as well as exterior measures. So to start out, we have a couple notes to take. So please pause the video, take down these notes, and resume when you're ready to listen to it. All right, so one of the main ideas here is that we're talking about the interior angle measures of a polygon. It says the sum of the interior measures of a polygon with n sides is equal to the number of sides minus 2 times 180 degrees. Okay, and we're going to be going through some examples with that as well. If you want to find the measure of an individual angle for a regular polygon, we're going to take that statement, n minus 2 times 180, and we're going to divide it by n. And again, n is the number of sides. Let me draw that down. N is equal to the number of sides. And for a regular polygon, just a blanket statement means that all angles and sides are equal to each other respectively. So each side is equal to each side, each angle is equal to each angle. So for example, that's a regular triangle, square, so on and so forth. You see that all of these are going to be equal to each other. The sides are equal to each other. The angles are going to be equal to each other as well. Oh no, it's off the page, right? But we're going to be using this knowledge to help us try and find each individual angle inside the polygon, as well as to find the total amount of degrees inside that polygon. And then we're going to use that to help us find the exterior amount. But remember, n is the number of sides, and that should make some sense, right? For a triangle, if I just get rid of all of these real quick, and we just discuss a triangle, well, we know that the interior sum is 180 degrees, right? We know that the interior sum is 180 degrees. So if I wanted to find the measure of each angle, so if I wanted to find the measure of that angle, and this angle, well, how many angles are there? Well, there's 3. So in order to find that, I would do 180 and divide it by 3. Well, notice how we have 3 sides, 1, 2, and 3. So we get 60 degrees for each. So that's why we're going to be dividing by the number of sides if I want to find one specific angle. So we're going to take that total sum and then divide it by the number of sides, and that's how we get this equation here, or this formula, I should say. So let's take this and put it into practice. So it says finding the sum of a polygon's interior angles. Remember, sum means total. Okay, so what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to count up the number of sides, and we're going to use the n minus 2 times 180. So we're just going to use the n minus 2 times 180 degrees. Well, for the stop sign, let's count up how many sides I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 sides. So we're going to use that formula, and it's going to be 8 minus 2 times 180. And we can simplify down. 8 minus 2 is going to give us 6. So 6 times 180. You can whip out those calculators, and you do 6 times 180, and we get 1,080. So 1,080 degrees. That's how much the total sum of all these angles are going to be. So boop, boop, dut, 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 dut. So that's all those angles there. They're going to add up to 180 degrees. This octagon has 100 has 1,080 degrees into it. We go over to the right-hand side, we have a pentagon. Okay, so we count up the number of sides here. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 sides. I'm going to use that same exact formula, the number of sides minus 2 times 180. So it's going to be, sorry, I'm just going to fill in the blue first. I'm going to put the black. There we go. So it's going to be 5 minus 2, which gives me 3 times 180. Let me do that in blue. And we do 3 times 180, and we get 540 degrees. So the total sum of a pentagon is 540 degrees. So all 5 of those angles added up is going to give us 540 degrees. That's great, right? That's great. But what if I said, hey, I want to know what one angle is worth? I know that 5 of these together is 540, but what would I do to find just one of them? Well, we have 5 of them, so we would divide by 5, right? And that's where we go into this example, as finding the measure of a polygon's interior angle. Notice that there is no sum in this question. It says find the measure of a polygon's interior angle. It doesn't say what is the sum of it. So I'm looking for an individual angle, or I'm looking for a single. I'm going to use the angle abbreviation. All the single angles, right? So we want to find the single angle. But what we need to do first is do exactly what we did. We need to count up the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know there's 7 sides to it. So I need to find the total first and then divide it by the number of sides. So again, our formula, we'll do it in blue. It's n minus 2 times 180, which would give me the total of the heptagon. But I don't want the total. I want one individual. So once I find that total, I have to divide it by that number of sides. So we can fill in what we know. Know it's going to be 7 minus 2 times 180, again, over 7, because that's the number of sides. Sorry, my colors aren't really working right now. Boom, there we go. So now we can simplify. 7 minus 2 is 5. We have 5 times 180 divided by 7. So 5 times 180, I believe that's 900. Let me just double check. Boom, there you go. So we get 900 divided by 7. And we're going to get about 128 degrees. It's 128.57, but for right now, I'm just going to, actually, I should round up then. About 129 degrees is one of those angles, right? We're not looking for the total. We found the total first and then divided by the number of sides because we want to find only one of them, right? So if you're trying to find the sum of the angles, you need to have the number of sides minus 2 times 180. That's the total. But if you want to find only one of them, you just got to take that total now and divide it by the number of sides there are, right? So let's say that we're doing this, right? And it's great. But what happens if I want to, find the exterior measures, right? Well, we'll get to that in just a moment. But for right now, I just want to have a quick checkpoint, okay? So please pause the video, complete the problems, and then when you're ready to check your answers, please hit resume because I'm going to show you the answers in the next slide. All right, so if you listen to my voice, that means you've tried these 2 problems out under the checkpoint and you're ready to see the answers. Well, here are the answers, okay? So the first problem says the sum of the measures. So remember, sum is the total. Okay, so we have the number of sides, which is 10 of a n-gon, okay, of a n-gon. It just means a polygon with 10 sides. 10 minus 2 times 180, we get 1,440 degrees. And then find the measure of an interior angle. Remember, it's a measure of an interior angle. It's not the sum. So we have a 12-gon, so we do 12 and then divided by 12 as well, and we get 150 degrees. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great job, folks. Here we go, here we go. So if we want to talk about exterior angles, okay, let's think back to what we know about exterior angles. Well, we have what we call a linear pair. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is going to be equal to 180, right? Angle 1 plus angle 2 is going to be equal to 180 because they form a straight line. Okay, so since they form a straight line, if I knew the measure of angle 1, well, I would just subtract that from 180, and that would give me the measure of angle 2. And we are going to use that now to help us within this problem here. So please pause the video. Please try out as best as you can to solve for angles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. My biggest tip here is just find angle 6 first, and then from there, use your knowledge of exterior angles. It's 180 degrees together, and you subtract that given angle to find the exterior to find it, okay? And when you're ready to move on, please resume because we're going to be going through it. But try out as best as you can because I know you can do this. All right, so if you listen to my voice, that means you are ready to move on. So my tip here was finding measure of angle 6 first, right? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So we're going to be using our formula, be 5 minus 2 times 180 to find the total degrees of this pentagon or this 5-sided shape. So we get that's equal to 540 degrees. Well, I already know I have 87, 134, 124, and 106 accounted for. So I want to find the measure of angle 6. So what I'm going to do is take 540 and subtract these 4 values. Or I could technically write it out as, well, 87 plus 134 plus 124 plus x plus 106 is equal to 540. I can simplify everything down and combine my like terms here. Come on, there we go. I can do 87 plus 134 plus 124 plus 106, and we get 87. Let's do that. Plus 134 plus 124 plus 106, and we get 451. And that's still equal to 540. And now to solve for x here, we have to subtract 451 from both sides. So we get that x is going to be equal to 451, 89 degrees. So we know that the measure of angle 6 is now 89 degrees, which is great because now we can find all these exterior angles, right? 1 is an exterior angle, 2 is an exterior angle, 3 is an exterior angle, 4 and 5 are all exterior angles. So if we know all these interior angles, well, we can do 180 minus those values. So if I want to look at this section right here, I have 1 and 87. Well, they form a straight line. So the measure of angle 1 plus 87 should be 180 degrees because they form a linear pair. So all we do is 180 minus 87, and we get 93. Now we can do the same process for these angles over here, 134 and 2. Well, they form a straight line, so we do 180 minus 134, and we get 56. Nope, I lied, sorry, 46. Whoops. For number 3, we have 180 minus 124. We get 56. For angle 4, we have 180 minus 89, which gives us, oh, what's that? 180 minus 89, 91. And then for angle 5, 180 minus 106 to give us 74. Great job so far, folks. You're doing so well. We just brought it all together. I'm so proud of you.